Hey everybody, I'm Rashid. So I will show in this video how to create an assignment in Webcourses that is hosted in Canvas. And of course, the purpose from this assignment is to deliver, for example, a project, assignment, as you call assignment, or a test that's going to be like a paper test, and you're going to grade it yourself by going through the assignment. If you want to grade one question at a time, for example, and you want the system to grade some questions because they're multiple choice or numerical answers, then you should consider quizzes, which is the other video. So the purpose from this one is you have an assignment that either you want to grade yourself or you want the students to peer review, and after they do the peer review, then you're gonna submit grades. So we will share the desktop, and I'll show you here. Of course, you need to have access to assignments tab. So in previous video, I showed how to get this up here if it's not there by going to setting, and let's just do it quickly. Go into settings and go into navigation. So you have a menu here and you have a menu here. Well, we're going to go to navigation, and you have a top menu and a bottom menu. The top menu is the one that you have, the students can see if it is a student link. So quizzes is a student link. If it's here, they can see it. Faculty tools is not a student link, so if it's here, they still cannot see it. So that's one thing. And if you're going to use assignments, whether you could use it and you still hide it, then you drop assignments here at the bottom. Especially if you're going to have a different platform, and sometimes it's confusing to students. So I would probably keep assignments here. But in that case, I'll show you how students will access assignments. So either way, you're going to have access to assignments, but you want to keep in mind, so now you see it's not visible, which means students don't have access to it. However, if you create an assignment here, then you want to make sure you're putting the assignments in modules. So you will have modules, and you will do that, put that here. But if you're not sure, then maybe you want to just keep assignments here and just tell the students that when I say this one, for example, it's an assignment in Canvas or Webcourses. If it's this way, then it's an assignment in a different platform. So in that case, you will use two keywords to identify the assignment. So if before we create an assignment, there are many ways, of course, to deliver this. One way I like is modules. I set up the home page to be modules by going to choose a home page, and I choose modules. So anytime the students logs in to this course, they will see modules as the front page. And that's one way to do it. Or you can have a page that you fix with the welcome and the information and all that. Then you make that as a home page, and you put a module link in it. But one simple way to start is this way. So let's create a module, and we'll call it, let's say, final exam module. And we're going to publish it so students can see it. Then, of course, in this module, you're going to have some details that lead to that week of, for example, final exam. If you have files, if you have lectures, if you have reviews, everything needs to be uploaded, then posted. If you just want to put an announcement, text header, you're going to say, for example, your final exam is, let's say, for 2020, 11 a.m. MSB 240 or something like that. So this is just an information. It's not a file or anything. But of course, you can do the calendar. You can do announcements. It's just to show that now we're built on this final exam module. So we're going to upload a file. You see the file here is not visible to students, and probably that's a good practice to keep files not visible. When you click on files on this left side menu, you will see upload on the right side menu. Then you just upload the file from your computer that you want. So I browsed, I found this practice test in online. So I just did files, uploaded this file from my computer, and it's now here. Okay. And once it's here, then it is saved in this course. Now you can use it. So we go back to modules. We created this module, and I'm going to do add. It is a file. You see all the options there, and it is this, and select and post. If you didn't have a name to it already, like correct, you can fix it from the 3 dots on the right side. You can do edit, and we're going to call this final exam spring 2020 or something like that. And it's published. These has to be published, which is the module has to be published, and the test has to be published in this case. So it's a PDF they can see. Of course, now how the submission will come. Of course, some do check it out and email me. That's not a good practice, because if you have a big number of students, you're going to get different type of files, different dates, and you'll be looking for them, and probably you're going to filter and all that. So maybe we just do assignments, and we're going to create an assignment, and we're going to call it a final exam. Then we're going to just put instructions here. So there is an option here that if you don't do it the same way I did it, you don't create any module or anything, you can skip all that if you want to, and you come to assignments and you create this. In that case, you can get that file from here. You can click on files and select it, and right there it's it takes this name. So if you don't want this name, I would delete and say final exam, click here, and you see it's still linked, or you can select it again and click on it. So right there. So you can do that, and you put the points that you're using, whatever group that's in this course. Now we don't have groups, so it's just assignments, points. Count it or don't count it towards the final grade if you're letting Canvas calculate the grade, whether it's an online submission or on paper or external tool. So in this case, for a paper test, it'll be on online submission. If there are entries like question 1, the answer is A, and students put 1A or something like that. But if it's math work, and you're gonna check the work as well, so you want a file upload, But I would, based on this, you can see that you can restrict type of files, because you may get files that are not from some devices that are not compatible with yours, and now you can't open that file. And also for security thing, you want to know what the file is, you know, and it's easy to scan. So I would maybe do a doc or a PDF, and also instruct students, if they can scan with their phone all the pages, or they can take pictures and embed them in a Word document and save it as a PDF. So there are many ways in which they can do that and have the same format for you to check. If this is type of project or some essay or something where you need to check, Turnitin is available and you have many options there. And if this is a group assignment, you have options of assigning groups or self-assign. Peer review is pretty neat if you have an assignment in which, like a project, and students would peer review each other, and you will need to provide them a rubric for that. And in that case, they really do a good job. They would follow exactly that rubric. And anytime I do it, I don't think I ever changed any grade. They would follow the rubric and say, yes, you did this, this, and this, and you get 50 points here, 25 points, 25, you got your 100. And you read the submission and it is what it is. So that's an option that's good to use to get students engaged with each other for some type of assignments. If it's like a final exam, this won't be checked. And let's say we selected due date. So here it's available from now when it's, if it's saved and published. It's not available after the 31st, but these were you control. Previous video, I talked about this ad, which allows a student that did not take a test to take the test if you want that student to take the test. But if you want everybody else who did not submit to take the test after the 31st, then you change this date. All right, so I think we can go ahead and save and publish. No, this is not a group assignment. And we're gonna go to modules, which is same as the home page here. And we're gonna go to add an assignment, and it is a final exam, and done. So what happens now when you have multiple things in the module, it gives a structure to student. You have lectures, you have reviews, you have for that week what you want them to know, for example. Then they have a test that they can download and look at if this is like a take-home test. And they have a final exam that is an assignment. And this you can rename, so for example, submit final exam. So we'll go see it as a student. So from setting on the left, student view on the right, this is the interface. Submit final grade exam, quizzes, we choose assignments. So if it is hidden, it's already here. So now 3 places the student can access this, right? So students will click on this, tests will show up. It can also be downloaded from there, and can submit it whenever ready. And there is a due date, so before that due date. So the student, either if you do these 2 options, now has 2 places to get this final. Or you can just not have this link and just keep this nice and neat. And so this is the test. And once the student is ready, worked out the examples and click on submit. Unfortunately here it does not, I picked restrict PDF, but I did not say here that, hey, you only need to upload PDF, right? So that's something that you need to communicate in instructions if you restrict type of uploads. So students will do browse and do this, put a comment, you know, let's say whatever comment they have and submit. And they get a confirmation. So the students should know that no confirmation, no submission. So we leave the student view, and now you delivered your final exam. To-do list will show up. Grade, submit final exam, which is nice. Anytime there is a submission, that thing is gonna show up and count how many are not graded. But if for some reason you don't have this, you can always click on the assignment, and on the top right side you have speed grader, or you have download the submissions, so you can download all of them, check them out, grade them, and come back to this and grade. Or you can you know, for security stuff, so sometimes you don't want to just have all these files somewhere else, so maybe just leave them here and just click on speed grader. And it looks like we have a test student that submitted the test, and we can go ahead and start grading. And let's say I want to put a comment on this. I'll pick a color. I'll pick blue, and I'll say yes, or whatever, you know. Yeah, this here says no. Let's say my comment is no. I'll type no. So you get the idea. You can use these tools to grade and give feedback and all that. You see the student comment. If a student has an issue or something, they will tell you. Yeah. So everything is perfect, even though I didn't check it right. So the grade is 100, and I'm gonna put a comment here that the graphs are complete. I like that you use this and that, whatever feedback you have. Let's see. B is not invertible, so I don't see product not defined. So I don't see, this is just a practice test. So if there is some feedback that's written here, or some overall feedback to put here, you know, you can put it. But that's kind of the idea, to give some feedback to students so they know what's up. The options here are whether you're grading by in order of the names or the date it was submitted, or you want just hide student names and save. And in that case, you will see student 1, student 2, and so forth. So, so it depends. Now that this is done, you graded it. Now what's going to happen is the student, we go back to the student, and with the student view, a grade is showed up, and I'm going to click on it here with this light blue. That's the new grade. I'm going to, you see here the comments. So student put a comment, I put a comment, right? So I'm playing double here, right? So that's a nice thing with this. If I click on the, so if the students say, I was expecting 100 that I got 90, I can't see, you know, where the corrections, then you can just say, go to grades, click on the assignment title, and go to feedback. And you can see here, we said grade here. There is somewhere we said no there. So these are the corrections, and this is the feedback here. I think that's it. We covered everything that has to do with this assignment. But I'll show you one thing. If you want to make your assignment nice and neat, you can also add some stuff in the instructions. Because I didn't show these tools, when I said you put your instructions there and you can embed your file there, of course you can embed some of these action icons here and break down for the test, like read the test, do this, you know, for what to do, how to submit. You're going to click on this and submit. You know, so these instructions can be given nicely, so the test itself looks good. And that's it. Thank you very much. Enjoy.